Yeah, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So, I really want to touch on this topic with Gervonta Tank Davis not being happy with his current situation with the money team, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe. And, you know, over the years, man, we've seen like some back and forth, some ups and downs when it comes to the relationship of, in particular, Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather, you know, but just him with that management, you know, overall, there's always been some type of, you know, some drama here and there. You know, for the most part, you could say that they've been successful in handling Gervonta Tank Davis, you know, and, you know, making him a star. I would have to say in that regard, they have been successful, you know, and Tank Davis has went out there and did his part of his job, and he's undefeated, you know, putting on spectacular performances, highlight real knockouts, you know, and just being a great, extremely skilled fighter, you know what I mean? But, you know, there's always been like an elephant in the room, so to speak, or there's always been like some type of underlying like issues going on. And, you know, I thought they were past that shit, honestly, you know, but Tank Davis has come out recently on social media saying that he's, you know, essentially not happy with his situation. He plans on leaving after this fight versus Rolly Romero. Of course, he has a pay-per-view matchup on Showtime coming up in May. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight. Of course, it's not the fight that all of us wanted to see, and we're going to talk about that too, because I think the, you know, Tank Davis fighting Rolly Romero is a prime example of why Tank Davis is probably not very happy right now in this situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank Davis, in my opinion, is one of the most skilled fighters in the sport of boxing. I did a rating in the community tab. If y'all haven't seen that, go back and I don't even know how far back it was. It was sometime last year. But I did a rating for the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters at that particular time. I graded them on all of the, you know, the main attributes, every attribute that I felt like actually mattered. You know, there's different things that you can grade, like intangible shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, there's some of that I did touch on as well, but for the most part, it's, you know, I just kind of broke a lot of stuff down, and I did the top 10 pound-for-pound at that particular time. I didn't have Tank rated #1, but his ratings came out higher than anybody else's, and that was just me basing that was just me grading Tank off of the eye test, pretty much. Of course, the things that we've seen him do versus the level of competition that we've seen him fight, that's all you can judge a fighter off of. But, you know, some guys, they just passed the eye test. For instance, Gervonta Ennis. Gervonta Ennis hadn't had an opportunity to fight no top guys, but you gonna sit here and tell me when you look at Ennis you don't see the real deal? You gonna sit here and tell me when you look at Gervonta Ennis you don't see that motherfucker got that shit? You can't tell me you don't see that he got it in him. You feel me? The same thing with Tank Davis. It's like he got it. You know what I'm saying? So I rated him #1. The reason I bring that up is because, not #1 pound-for-pound, but I rated him higher than anybody. A+ is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, but the reason I bring that up is because Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe, they look at Tank as a guy who could potentially be the face of boxing, a mega star, a pound-for-pound attraction, you know, box office, selling a lot of tickets, potentially do 1 million pay-per-view buys one day. they look at him as, you know, a guy that could really take over the sport of boxing from a fiscal and financial aspect. Somebody who brings in the biggest numbers year in and year out. You know, Floyd made his bones on that. The difference is that it seemed like Floyd trying to skip the pretty boy stage. And I understand it is one of those situations where it's like I went through that so you don't have to go through it type shit. You feel me? You know, I think Floyd actually looks, you know, he's guiding Tank with Tank's best interests at heart, or what he may perceive or what he thinks is Tank's best interest. You know what I'm saying? He's like, shit, I went through, you know, I went and fought the Diego Corrales, you know what I'm saying, the Genaro Hernandezes, the Arturo Gattis, the Angel Manfredis, you know what I'm saying? I had the wars with the Emmanuel Augustus, the Chop Chop Corliss. I fought Zab Judah. I fought Miguel Cotto. I fought an undefeated unified world champion at 23, Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? I fought the Manny Pacquiao. I did all of the hard shit. Now all you got to do is come behind me off of my name, off of my status, my clout, my respect that I have in the game, and I'm going to set you up for a layup. All you got to do is go out there and look spectacular no matter who we put you in the ring with. Just look spectacular and you going to sell tickets and you going to make a bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take you the route where you going to get your bread up and it's going to be easier for you. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to having to do all the hard shit, I'm going to put you on that, you know, that fast track to the top. That's how I think Floyd is looking at the situation. You know, but deep down, I believe Tank Davis actually wants to fight the best guys. I believe Tank Davis actually wanted to fight Lomachenko when Lomachenko was calling him out. I believe Tank Davis want to fight Devin Haney, or he's not opposed to taking that fight. Kambosos, you know, Telefimo Lopez, Gary Russell Jr. I think Tank Davis will be willing to get in the ring with all these guys because I truly believe that Tank Davis himself believes that he's the best. I think Tank believes in his skill. You know what I'm saying? Tank is one of those guys to me where I feel like he genuinely enjoys the sport of boxing. He enjoys this shit. Yeah, he enjoys the shine, you know, wearing nice clothes, you know, pretty jewelry, driving in nice, pretty cars and shit like that. He enjoy that, you feel me? As he should. But I think Tank Davis actually enjoys getting in that ring and just like causing pain and inflicting punishment on guys. I think he enjoys that shit. And I think he knows his level of skill is elite. He understands this. I've seen Tank Davis turn on a switch from being not so dedicated to his craft to taking his camps full time to Vegas and really like tapping in and taking that shit to another level. Being in shape, you know, when you ain't got no fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Tank turn that switch on. I've seen so much growth and maturity over the years from Tank Davis. Over the past 2 years, Tank Davis's maturity and growth has been exponential. And I think, you know, of course, a lot of that is due to him growing as a man mentally. A lot of that is due, in my opinion, you know, I can't speak to this factually, but just from the outside looking in, I think, you know, Floyd, Leonard Ellaby, I think they had something to do with that too. You know, letting him know and showing him like, damn, you know, this shit big out here for you. Your potential is huge, bro. Like, you really can be a star. I think Tank Davis is one of those guys, just the same way I look at Boots Ennis, as far as like being one of those, you know, he can be the face of boxing type shit. You know what I mean? I think Tank Davis is that. Like, Tank Davis can be the face of boxing. Like, he can be that box office guy that everybody come to see, because, you know, he got the skills to pay the bills. He can fight every which way you need him to. He can box from the outside. He can walk you down. He can fight mid-range. And he got that one-hitter quitter. He got power and hand speed. He's got athleticism, head movement, defense, underrated. There's literally nothing Tank Davis can't do in that ring. I've seen it all. You may have not seen it all put together on one night, but I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I mean, hell, in the Esau Cruz fight, he damn near put it all together on one night. And half of the fight, he had one hand. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was one of Tank Davis's most impressive performances. The way he was able to, be a boxer puncher in the first half of the fight, boxing real well, setting traps, and then also throwing hellacious shots in which he, fucked up his left hand, throwing a crazy ass left uppercut. His best punch, in my opinion. Tank Davis has a million great punches, but the left uppercut, I think, is probably his left uppercut is one of the single most dangerous weapons in the sport of boxing, in my opinion. Deontay Wilder's right hand that is the most dangerous. But I think Tank Davis's left uppercut might be the second most dangerous punch in the sport of boxing today. You know what I'm saying? But then on the back end of that fight, with only one hand, boxing and, using the ring and using athleticism and feints and head movement, I mean, it was impressive. So I say all that to say this. I think that Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, the money team, I think they have been holding Tank back. But I don't think it's been like maliciously. You know what I'm saying? I think they've been holding them back because their vision for Tank's career doesn't align with Tank's vision for his career. Tank wants to fight the best guys. He want to fight. He want to prove that he the best. Yeah, he want to make money too. And I think he's actually been like underpaid. Me personally, looking at his purses, man, and I don't like to really, dabble in these dudes' money like that. But I mean, we see what the shit look like. Of course he get back end money too, but I think that guaranteed money need to be more than just $1.5 million a fight. Tank Davis, I mean, look at him. He's a star. You know what I mean? I think his guarantee need to be at least 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being honest with you. So, have they been holding Tank back? I think yes. I think they have been holding him back. You know what I'm saying? I think they look at him as this guy that, okay, we gonna get you to the top, but we gonna do it slow. We gonna let you build your name up. Then once you get to a certain level, now we'll start going after the guys that's supposed to be these boogeymans and the guys that you supposedly ducking, and then we'll capitalize on that, make big pay-per-view fights after you done already, stood alone by yourself and built the name, and you done, put on pay-per-view attractions when it's just Tank Davis being the main name on there. Now you the clear A side. Now you gonna get the lion's share. Now you known. You know what I'm saying? And you built a track record of fighting on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I think that's been TMT's whole goal behind, how they move Tank. But Tank Davis, he not with that shit. He tired of, fighting guys like Rolly Romero. You know what I'm saying? And fighting guys that, he just knows that he's clearly better than. I think Tank Davis want to prove to himself that he can beat these other guys. I think Tank Davis actually, he wants to be pound for pound #1. He want to go out there and whoop Lomachenko ass. He want to show everybody that, look, these skills that I've been working on, that I've been honing and crafting this whole time, these motherfuckers real. And I'm better than these dudes. But Floyd and them, they like, bro, you our biggest asset. You our most major investment. You know what I'm saying? You the biggest investment that we got right now. We not just finna throw you out there, even if we think that you can win. We not finna just throw you out there in no situation where the eyes ain't where we want them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see the situation, man. I hope Tank Davis actually, moves on and finds, a situation whether he remains independent and just use Al Heyman as an advisor, kind of have take control of his career, have more of a hand in, the fights that get made, his pool of opponents that he got to choose from and different things like that. If that's the best route for him, or if he can reconcile with Floyd and Leonard, and they can come to a common agreement and, you know, and be more of a partnership as opposed to Tank Davis just doing whatever they tell him to do. You know, no matter which way he go, man, I hope he choose the right thing, and I hope he actually, you know, gets more control of his career, man, so we can see him in these fights that we want to see him in. Because, I mean, he's 27, about to be 28, if he haven't already turned 28 this year. You know, so he in his prime now. He getting in that prime. You know what I mean? He in that prime stage where the mental, the physical, and that heart, all three of them things match up. That's when you in your prime, when the mental match up, the heart match up, and the physical attributes match up, everything aligning, motherfucker be damn near unstoppable. When you on Tank level, you know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Do y'all feel like do y'all feel like Floyd and the money team is holding Tank back? Or do you think they moving them correctly? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.